Good morning and welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John, coming to you today after the big Labor Day weekend, which was absolutely wonderful here in East Tennessee. We had some rain come through, but all in all, it was warm and a beautiful weekend, and a lot of people out and about, I noticed, that are traveling by car here and there. To different sites here in East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, as well as North Carolina. We're right on the border of Western North Carolina here. And everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. I know that the Democratic Party is trying to put out the word of joy, but there's little joy in politics anymore, and I'm not going to get into any today. Because of the nonsense that is going on between these two parties running for election for president right now. We all need to put our ear to studying the processes by which these candidates are telling you they will achieve things. We have to make informed decisions. The non-informed voters are en masse right now. And they think they know what's going on inside the government and around the area, but they do not. So we have to stay informed on our own basis and understand what it is that we need to know with regard to what each of these candidates can bring to us or hope to bring to us. Enough said on that. We have the escalation of things happening over in Israel, in the strip that is in contest over there, which is on the border of Egypt and Rafah area. And Biden's only comment on this, when asked by a roving reporter yesterday, was, do you think that Netanyahu is doing enough to breach a peace agreement? And he said no. I guess that's along the lines of don't. But that's what we have as a sitting president right now, and a vice president that's non-engaged in everything. They were in the Situation Room together and accomplished nothing with regard to helping with this ceasefire. And Hamas needs to be brought to task and asked and to prove why they will not release these hostages and come to a table for a peace agreement, or at least a ratified ceasefire that they can hold their feet to. And that's what's going on right now. There's also some nonsense going on with Zelensky trying to say that he needs to take over major pieces of Russia by bombardment until they come to a table to where they can discuss things. This is a man, by the way, that will probably cause the destruction of that hemisphere, if not all of us. This is a power-hungry little man that has made a lot of money on this war, and no one's looking at that aspect. He's not able to win this war. He knows that they need to come to a table at some point and stop the silly destruction of the Ukrainian population and their armies. Not to mention the fact that we give them F-16s and they put inexperienced pilots in them. And where are they now? Crashed. We have to stop emboldening these type of people through our administration as it exists now. We need an administration to come in here and help us wrap these things up, and I mean all of the powder kegs around the world need to be defused. But anyway, it's a nice weekend. I'm going to get up to the Laurels again today. I think I'm going to do maybe cook up some hot dogs up there, sit by the creek and relax and reflect and meditate about what is going on. I urge you all to study. Everybody that is running for office, I don't care if it's down ballot or up ballot, you need to educate yourself at what their history is. What have they done in the past? What did they do when they were in this administration? One is sitting in this administration now with nothing to hang a hat on, in my opinion, and the other guy has a track record. So let's look at that, and let's study that, and let's not be an uninformed voter. And that's all I'm going to say about politics today. We're going to the Laurels. The Laurels should be pretty this time of year. The leaves here are starting to fall, so we're getting into a fall situation. We have debates coming up and everything that will probably take over all of the news cycles as we know them, so be prepared for that for the next couple of weeks at least. And pray for this country. We need to get back to God, and we need to understand that prayer is a very powerful tool. Pray! So let's use it, and let's use our God-given brains to realize that everything that we have been told could possibly be a lie. So let's look into it, research it, and make an informed decision this upcoming vote that's going to happen in November. As far as the attacks on God in this country, we have seen many because of our one candidate that is attributing his existence here after being shot to God. There are several people going around saying that this was God's work. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. I mean, you're your own person, and you're responsible for your soul. So, but you cannot belittle somebody that believes the hand of God entered into their life. There are some of us around here, like myself, that have had the hand of God interfere in family business and help. And it was a direct result of prayers. When you have somebody that is extremely ill in your family and told that they only have so much time to live, you do everything you can, but the most that you can do, unless you are very well connected, is pray. And prayers are answered every day around this world, like it or not. The people who want to rail against it may have a direct relationship with the fallen angels that we all hear about from time to time, which I believe we have many of his minions running around in this country right now. And this is one more thing that we need to pray for, that it is not going to take over and run this country, because if God turns his back on this country, we are in serious, serious problems.
Pray, pray, pray.
I've never been an overly religious person. I was raised in the Catholic Church. I was raised to become a priest and parochial educated. And then realized after meeting several wonderful gals that was not going to be my life. But in my later years, after experiencing life and asking for God's help through situations that I have gone through in my life, I have realized that without God, there is no life. So we need to go back to prayer, go back to the basic foundations you were raised on in this country, which is not the people that are out there now telling you that there is no God or there is this or isn't that. because they don't know any more than we know. But your faith is what's going to bring you through every trial and tribulation that you will run into in life. And don't forget that. And if a politician, like I watched over the weekend, posts a scripture or something religious, the answers back, I read through, actually I'm talking about Marsha Blackburn right now, and she's a Republican and a representative from here in East Tennessee. And the answers back to her were just the filthiest things you'd ever want to know about in your life. Why these people feel that she can't have a heart or a closeness to God, I don't understand what their thinking is. Based on what? Based on maybe a mistake she made as a politician, or a mistake she may have made as a pharmacist in her former life? I don't understand the people that are out there saying the things they are to her.
That's not right.
Marsha Blackburn, if you're listening, God bless you and for all you do. But these are the type of things, and if you go onto X and onto Facebook and watch the things that the uninformed voters are proponing right now, it's disgusting in some cases. It's disgusting the way people talk about one another or talk about people that they have never met, do not understand, and have not studied their past histories. To say rotten, nasty things about a person is just mind-boggling to me, why that happens. But here we are, 2024, and I don't think we've had a day of peace in this country, except for a short period before COVID, since Ronald Reagan. The nasty things that are said about one candidate that I happen to know are not true. Most of this country is uninformed enough because we have a propaganda machine called our mainstream media. We have networks that are being told by the White House what to say, do, and where to be. Mm-hmm. We don't hear what's going on in the struggles in the UK. We don't hear what the struggles are in Tel Aviv with the peoples there. We don't hear about what the real struggles are for the Chinese nationals that live every day under communism. And we certainly don't hear about anything across the world that's good because they only report crap. And sift through the lies that the media is giving you on a daily basis is a full-time job. Yes, there are Newsmax and there's other places that you can go for your news, but how many people really realize that they can do that?
Liars.
There's a great percentage of this population that is stuck to the major networks, which are NBC, CBS, and ABC. PBS is so far to the left that you would think they're NASCAR drivers. Unbelievable. Then you have the cable news networks, MSDNC, and CNN, which if you watched any of the scripted, planned interview with a very, very nervous candidate last week, it should have been very enlightening to you that this person is somewhat bewildered, is the word that I'd like to look at, and nervous. And then to have a vice presidential candidate towering over her, bringing nothing to the party, but she could not do this interview without having a man there. I don't think that was very, well, that is telling. So prayer is our answer and study is our answer. We have to go out of our way to rely on study of what these people actually do stand for. We have to rely on study to understand the crises that that they're looking at with regard to the EBC, the economy, the border, and we talked about this last week, crime. Crime is at an all-time high. There were reports again this morning about more and more illegal people doing stabbings and beating police officers and breaking the law as they did when they entered this country. Their crime wave is going to continue. Then you have Colorado sitting there with a full gang of Venezuelan gang members taking over residences from people without, in my mind, I have not heard one word about how they're doing. What are they doing to fix that, to get these people's lives back? These are the direct result of the lack of immigration control that happened in the Biden administration and orchestrated intentionally by the Biden administration, with no one ever having been dismissed or fired over the fact that they have let millions and millions of people into this country unvetted, unchecked, and probably in some cases not healthy. But we have to bear that burden. So pray often that we can save this country. I think we're on our way to a turning point where we're going to have to go back to the basic foundations laid out by the developers of this country way back in the 1700s, what they went through, what they sacrificed, and start studying there and read the Constitution of the United States. It's very informing, and since grade school, many of us have not had that opportunity. I have. And we know that it was a good foundation. It still is a good foundation if we don't let someone blow it up. And with that, I'm going to wish you a very, very happy rest of this Tuesday morning. Remember, we had a holiday yesterday. Everybody goes back to the salt mines today to put in their daily job obligations, and hopefully you all had a wonderful weekend. So with that, Kaiser and I are going to go out for a picnic today, and we'll be back to you. If I get any film up at the Laurels today, I'll post the special either tomorrow morning or tonight. So God bless you all. Bye-bye now.